Hey everybody, StudiousToe here. Welcome to the Bagel Nation. We're gonna be playing some Geoguessr, so let's get to it. Um, all right. It's looking America to me. Very much looking America to me with the Chevy truck and the 55 miles an hour sign. Which direction looks more promising? Looks like we could be just anywhere. Probably on an interstate, my guess is, but okay. I thought we were about to have more of the problems from the last video. That was just a mess. The entire video was just everything was bad. No, not everything. Yuka, old courthouse, museum left lane. Looks like we're somewhere where it can get cold, which is more important than you might think. Junction 172. Someplace with hospitals. And Sonics. I think Sonic is more prevalent. Well, I don't know that. I wanted to say it's a more south, but it doesn't. I mean, it's not really a southern thing, I don't think. But I mean, everyone starts somewhere. Okay, this looks like a pretty big intersection. We should find some road signs somewhere around here to help us. Check over here. This might just be do not enter. And there we go. Okay. What does Sonic do? They have something on sale? Guess not. I enjoy myself some Sonic from time to time. We jump over it. There we go. Jump over here. South 25. Win Job Center. You win by getting a job, I guess. Slow to 45. There's a Hardee's. I believe that's also kind of a southern thing. See, my expertise is mostly going to be southern United States. I spent enough time in Florida and by extension Georgia, also Texas and the like, that I've got a feel for what those areas look like for the most part. Got a Hardee's. What is this? Is this bank? Is it a bank first? First American National Bank, established 1964. I'm pretty sure there was an American National Bank before then. But I've been wrong before. Flag, America. Just in case you weren't sold on the idea of it being America. Oh, camera plus. Ooh, we may not want to deal with that. Okay, there we go. Let's continue in this direction. We might find a road sign that's helpful. Or this could keep happening. There we go. There's a McDonald's. And this might be a useful sign. Let's see what it says. Junction 72, tourist info. So somewhere that either has tourists or wants to have tourists, which is more valuable information than you might assume, than you might think. South on 25. I've seen enough numbered roads that I should start. This doesn't look that mountainous. It could be like Tennessee. Could feel Tennessee. This looks could be Tennessee. We're not on an interstate. Florence, Corinth. Corinth, is that Georgia? No, Athens, Georgia is what I'm thinking. Corinth, I think it's Tennessee. Oh, these weird little towns. I guess it's not that weird, but Corinth and Florence. Florence, Italy. Florence, Alabama, looks like is what that's saying. So, Fulton, Florence, Alabama. I have a feeling we're maybe northern Alabama. I mean, North Alabama is a pretty tall state, so it has a pretty big degree of the difference between here and here is pretty large. Athens. There's an Athens, Georgia, and an Athens, Alabama. Like your next door neighbors. Just rock, paper, scissors to see who gets to keep it. Didn't we see a 72? Florence. Okay, Florence. Is there Corinth nearby? Or Fulton? Could be the Tennessee, Alabama border. I'm feeling that. We're looking for. Oh, there's a 20. Didn't we find a 20 sign earlier? I think we've got a 25. Okay, we're headed south on 25. I think we've got a decent idea of where we are, though. I could ditch the. Well, that means we're north of Florence, and we're on 25. So, I mean, we could just put a guess right there and be fairly safe. Well, it said Florence, Alabama. That makes me think Fulton, Tennessee. Makes me think Corinth, Tennessee, maybe, since that specifies Alabama. Is there 20? Waynesboro, would this be too far away to be telling you about a different state? Okay, what are the... I have a feeling we're in Tennessee, just based on that distinction alone. It feels a bit Tennessee-ish to me. East 72. We saw a 72 on the map, didn't we? 72, 70. Wait, did I make that up? Did I make that up? Did I just see that or did I not? You see what you want to see, man. 72. 72. Alternate 72. Where's regular 72? Presumably 72. Well, these should meet up at some point, I would think. Where does it split? Okay, found 72. I want to take it in this direction. Does it come into Florence? Okay, so 72. Okay. So we're at the intersection of 72 and 25, I believe. Using that. There's 25. Okay, just put it back here a little bit. I think that's our guess. 4,800. Wow, we were pretty off actually. 62 kilometers. Is that? Did we not put our what? Oh, that's it. Oh, different 25. Well, all in all, I mean, 200 points off of the maximum isn't bad. I feel like I dialed in so close to get it that off. It's kind of disappointing. Okay, but on to round 2. Not America. Okay, vehicles, maybe trucks or something, I think is what that's saying. I don't think those are cities. Those are just different speed limits for different kinds of people, different kinds of vehicles. Africa maybe. I mean, I do say I'm scared to say Africa and be wrong about it. Australia, probably not so much because it's not English. I'm still open to most anything. Oh, excuse me. Yawning a little bit probably means I should go to bed soon. I want to read the sign, Geoguessr. Okay, I'm allowed to read it from here. Ultra Passagem Customento, I think is what the facility, some kind of ultra passenger facility. I don't know. Maybe that says something. Oh, you're allowed to pass here since lanes. passing lanes that should be about here, but are not because whatever is happening at the moment. And I would say I would edit this out, but actually the way I record Geoguessr makes it software I use this as opposed to other games. Most other games makes it a bit more difficult to edit, but it means I can get it up quicker and more easily. Do it all in one quick take with minimal editing or anything required. Do it pretty easily. But when there are big glitches like that, it makes it a pain to edit. So, now that I've given you a DVD commentary over my gaming video, this is, I'm sure, very interesting to watch. Oh, there we go. Okay. Just trying to be... Looks like we've got the same sign again. Similar, at least. We're driving on the right side of the road, correct? I believe. So, I really... Maybe North Africa, Northern Africa, maybe I don't know how much it's clicking is getting through my noise gate, but I'm starting to get a little bit frustrated with Geoguessr and with whatever's going on. I just need to get in and tinker with my computer. I still haven't gotten to that since the last video when I talked about it. But no matter. You may have an audience with our fair lady. I mean, does that look African to you guys? Looks kind of African to me. Kind of. A little bit like a Savannah. Savannah is the name of my favorite song, by the way. Reliant K. Look it up. It's a great song. It's kind of the lightest instrumentally song, at least from that album. It's also kind of the heaviest dealing with the... It's a great album from the album Forgetting Not So Down. I recommend it highly. Especially if you or someone you know has been through a traumatic breakup or they just need to get it out of their system. Get Not So Down by Reliant K. Great album. Okay, I'm getting ready just to say Africa. I mean, I don't think I've gotten anything very central in Africa. I don't know if that's because Google just doesn't have cars there or if it's just how Geoguessr works. Right now I'm ready to just go that and hope for the best. So I'm not feeling this map right now. It's not just nothing much to go off other than scenery, which I mean I enjoy the view, I suppose. What does that say? BR 050, kilometer 240. Well, yeah, I think my internet is slow right now or something. Something's going funky. VR 050. I mean, based on the language, I'm just not certain of any of this. So, appreciate that much, dear viewer. But I really don't know what I'm doing. I mean, BR... It'll end up being Australia. I don't think the language, whatever we saw, was Australian. Let's not, BR 050. I suppose I could look that up. That's not how I like to play. And it's fine if you like to play that way. Transnorato? Norato. It's good. I mean, this is Europe for all I know. I don't, there's nothing much that just screams out at me. I'm sure these cars could tell me something, could tell someone something at least, but. Wait. Oh, man. I'm really ashamed because I recognize that, the flag. I just. Is it Brazil? I honestly. I'm very, Should I look it up? Should I look it up? I could look it up. Coca-Cola. I mean, this could. This doesn't look Brazil to me. Is that's not a Brazilian flag. That's some kind of African flag, isn't it? I really don't know. I'm like grasping at straws right now. Man. I will tell you this, being in the passenger seat for Geoguessr, being the one saying, "Oh no, you need to think this way," is a lot easier. Like I watch Northern Line videos and I'm like, "Oh, you don't recognize that one particular flag that I happen to know?" And I mean, he knows a lot more on those lines than I do, but it's like, "Oh, it's a lot easier to be in the passenger seat." I'm just guessing Africa. I'm going to be really embarrassed because I think I know that flag, but I cannot think of it. Is it Brazil? I guess it's Brazil. Okay, 22 points. Having another wildly inconsistent run. Um, Chevy. Automatically thinking America, but that's not necessarily true. This doesn't necessarily look all that American. The architecture doesn't. I like this brick thing. This church. I'm liking it. For some reason I think we're not in America. Is it a Toyota? Is it a Honda? Chevy? I mean, those things all go in America, so we could be in America. Excuse the chair squeaking noises. I should. Community center. Could be Canada, maybe. I don't think that architecture would be all that prevalent in Canada either, but based on the way center was spelled, that might be a Canadianism. They do some things the British way that we don't. Maximum 40 kilometers an hour. School zone. I think we're in Canada. This is where I show off how little I know of Canada. Canada, to many in the US, is the butt of many a joke and nothing more. I mean, they call their cops Mounties. It's a good example of Canadian mockery. Just like Colin Mockery, famous Canadian. So somewhere with education in Canada. Sesame. Oh, Sesame Street. Sesame Street. I found. I found Sesame Street. Um, I don't. I don't know how universal a thing. I think there are Sesame Streets everywhere in the world. There are localized versions of Sesame Street. Sesame Street is a beloved children's show in America that's been going on for many years. Kind of game breaking. Game breaking. I don't even know what I'm saying, but it doesn't look French to me. Are we sure we're in Canada? There's enough English that I feel confident in the Canada of it all. But we might be headed out of town, headed in this direction, and that might be. You know, I never take advantage of the compass. That would be pretty useful, actually. I should definitely be considering that a lot more. That would be very useful. 80 kilometers an hour. Looks like we are not headed in the right direction to be finding clues. Unless this is a welcome to Winnipeg sign. Indian Reserve, okay. Zoom out and do this and then get a better view, maybe. See if this works. Unceded Indian Reserve. Proud Progressive. Welcome. Wikwemekong? Wikwemekong? Wikwemekong. Saskatchewan. That should probably tell me a lot. The American Indian, I assume American Indian. I don't know what other. I mean, actual Indian. What am I saying? I think I'm trying to be politically correct where there's no need for political correctness, at least as a functional distinction. I mean, there's a distinction obviously between American Indian and Indian, but in this case, I think we're pretty much talking about American Indian. I could just say Indian or Native American. I think we have an explanation for all the weird language stuff. It looks to be Native American. On Sesame Street, man. But I'm not all that familiar. I mean, with much American Indian other than like Oklahoma and such, the Trail of Tears, Andrew Jackson, that sort of thing. Let's see. Just tell us everything we need to know. Fetal alcohol spectrum disorder. Okay. Drinking causes your baby brain damage. There are a lot of signs. I take a lot of issues with the sign. I do not take issue with Canada because that tells us pretty safely where we are. First off, Comic Sans. No. You want your billboard to be taken seriously. Second, what is this mess? Like that's a mess. That's a mess. I'm sorry to whoever designed this billboard. Just take up graphic design or hire a graphic designer. Canada joke here. You don't need it because you're Canadian or something. I don't know. Also, from what I understand, a lot of the fetal alcohol, the reasons that we think the way we do, the prevailing thought of alcohol for pregnant mothers is because of faulty um, uh, measurements and studies about that were in areas where crack and meth and whatever else was prevalent, and so they didn't separate those people. I mean, those people were the ones who were in the drinking category, and then the ones who were not. Anyway, not that, I mean, I don't think any expecting mothers should be going out and getting wasted, but I think that's why we're starting to hear, oh, you can have a glass of wine. It's not going to hurt the baby, but I mean, I'm not in the category of I don't recommend alcohol abuse. especially for pregnant mothers. If you want to take every precaution you'd like, please do so. Just no, I don't know. It's a cause that I have no. It's just a fact I know. I have no axe to grind. I have no horse in this race. I mean, I suppose I should have the horse in the race of the future of humanity. Should want our children to all have the best chance of success by not being fetal alcohol spectrum disorder babies. But seriously, Comic Sans a mess. That billboard was a mess. Like, well, that looks like water. We're near a lake. It looks like. Thinking, is that a teepee? And I guess it makes sense. It's, American Indians and all. Is there a big lake or something? Winnipeg? Does that sound? I'm just gonna guess Winnipeg. So I'm kind of getting tired of this map. We've been going for a very long time, and we are only on the third round. And I have not found much that's particularly helpful. I'm sure someone who knew a little bit more about American Indians in Canada would be helpful. Sure. This is near lakes. I guess I'm happy with that guess. On an island that is these islands, this area of the U.S. is kind of arbitrarily U.S. and Canada, I should say, kind of arbitrarily divided when you look at it. I mean, this is part of Michigan, even though it's more Wisconsin, and then oh well, it's suddenly Canada. I mean, I guess it's rivers, but I mean, why isn't that Canada? Why is this Canada? I don't know. Someone decided at some point, but let's keep going. I mean, I'm already thinking North America. Looks like this place can get reasonably cold, which is an interesting distinction. That's how I put that. Sheena Road. Okay, let's truck through the rest of this. We're having a bad round score-wise. We're not in the best position, so I'm not going to feel too bad if we don't do that well. Will hurt my average and my statistics, but that's fine. Not going to be too sad about that. Looks. I'm thinking Pacific Northwest for some reason. And I don't think that's actually a good guess. Just, I don't know, something about the shade of the green makes me think that it can get cold. It can probably be pretty wet as well. I think that kind of describes the Pacific Northwest. I think we'd be looking for larger trees, maybe, but I mean, we're in a fairly residential area. Lots of wide open spaces. If I had to guess right now, I'd say like Oregon. Oregon. Or Oregon. Or Oregon. Or Oregon. I guess. I don't think anyone says Oregon. Does this say where we are? Tour something? Bridges, maybe? Tour Ridges? I don't know. 4 ridges? Okay, sure. There you go. Thank you, game. The Snap Symphony by me. StudiousToe. Truckers, please avoid use of engine retarder brakes. Okay. Someone didn't get the memo on phasing out the word retard. It's a bad joke for a lot of reasons. Highway 824 upgrades. Okay, 3rd Avenue extension and Highway 824. Is there a Highway 824? Maybe we'll zoom in right on it. railroad crossing ahead, maybe? Is that what that X was? Ardrossen? Ardrosen? It could be. I'm feeling northern. I'm feeling northern. That's about all I know. For whatever reason, interstate. Oh, intersection. If we saw an interstate, we would be golden. Interstates, at least for me, are the key to Geoguessr in America. 80 was that? That looks like that could mean kilometers an hour. I'm guessing that's kilometers an hour, and I'm guessing we're in Canada. Again, guesses. This looks like 80 would be way too fast in miles per hour. RR. So we could be in British Columbia, maybe? Calgary, maybe? I don't know. I mean, that's where I'd put my my arrow right now. Again, the US and Canada, there's a lot of homogeneity between the two. And they're both very large places. So that can be a problem. In Geoguessr specifically. This feels kind of Canadian to me. Something about it. Okay, wait. I want to see that sign. That could be the key to our success. Edmonton and Lloydminster. Edmonton, is that in Ontario, Quebec, Edmonton? I know that's Canada. That's most of what I know about Edmonton. Watch it be in like Africa. Edmonton. Is that Edmonton, British Columbia? Is that right? Edmonton. I mean, I feel like if I know about it, honestly, it's near the border. We being honest, yo. Edmonton. I found it. Alberta. Edmonton. And Lloydminster. All right. Edmonton, Alberta. I guess that sounds right to me. 2 Canadians in a row. Edmonton is in that direction. Exit speed 30 kilometers an hour. Where do we go? Okay. Just gonna guess Edmonton, I guess. I don't really, well, shoot, we can 16 headed west. Is Edmonton this direction? So that means we are 24 kilometers east of Edmonton on 16, I believe. So Sherwood Park is 14 kilometers away, so about there. Should be a pretty good guess, actually. 4.5 kilometers, all right. Good guess, so we're not looking at worst score ever territory anymore. But that's what this map makes me feel like. This particular one. This could be anywhere. I'm feeling US again. Getting a very North American centric map today. Seed. I guess those are the distinctions I make. Seed would be the entire game, and map would be the individual rounds. Just so you at home can keep score. And also, I know it's a really good time to bring it up. Play along with me. I should be saying that at the beginning of the videos, that I leave seeds in the description so you can play along. Same map. I should, maybe I could announce those ahead of time or something. I know I received a comment from my very dear YouTube subscriber who I'm scared to try and pronounce the name of. I should probably just announce these ahead of time, maybe. Give you kids at home a chance to try your hand. I mean, at this point, I'm ready to just. Doesn't even look that Georgia to me, but maybe Kentucky. Maybe Kentucky, actually. I don't know. I don't know where I'm getting that from. Just haven't spent much time in Kentucky. I'm sure. Where's Kentucky? Like well, actually, I may not have been through Kentucky before because I've been driven from up this way. I might have been in Kentucky. I've probably been in Kentucky. Driven quite a bit from the south to the north. Not quite a bit. I've done it once. For my aunt's funeral a few years ago. True story. Usually I make jokes about it. Silence. I don't really know how to land that plane. Maybe. Oh, lake. Hello. Somewhere with a lake. Pretty big lake. Wow. It's not an ocean, is it? Maybe it's a bay. B-A-Y, not B-A-E. You can't tell it's there. That's how thick this tree line is. Wow. Maybe up here there's a clearing? Nope. False alarm. Like, you can sort of tell, but not really. Daniel Boone National Forest in Kentucky. And did we get turned around? Oh, shoot. Which direction were we? I want to say this way, but... Wait, which way looks slightly less thick? You can't even tell. There's water, like, directly to our left or right now. And we just don't know. I'm about to just guess Kentucky, because apparently they don't like to label their roads somewhere. You have a lot of problems with that in the U.S. Just feeling U.S. in general. Kentucky. Daniel Boone National Forest. We're going to go for it. Oh, Upper Peninsula of Michigan. Barely even in the U.S. Still somehow got 2,500 points. Alright, so this was not the best round of Geoguessr. Very, especially considering North America, I mean, for North American, really should have done better probably, but all in all, I enjoyed myself. I hope you did too, and if you did, leave a like below. I really appreciate that. Leave a comment if you want to jibber jabber with me in the comment section. I appreciate both of those things, and if you want to see future videos, if you want to see my other content, and the best way to keep in touch and to keep up to date with what's going on is to subscribe. I really appreciate all three of those things. Thank you so much for watching, and as always, enjoy your stay in the Bagel Nation. Press the stop button.